how we gonna see results if we never finish it? You're so busy trying to figure out, am I supposed to be a nurse or am I supposed to be a doctor? Am I supposed to be in physical therapy or am I supposed to be an engineer? Am I supposed to be a construction worker? But maybe that's not why you're here. Maybe you're here for a completely different reason. Guys, it's all that jazz. We're on the road to 2K, so go ahead and join today by clicking that red subscribe button. Today I'm bringing you guys a video about not giving up. So you should not give up on whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you have done, that you're trying to complete. You're here on this earth to do something for a purpose. So whether that purpose is big or small, when I was in my early 20s, my biggest struggle was figuring out what my purpose is. What am I supposed to do? What am I here for? Who am I here for? And whether that's you looking at it spiritually or religiously, or not spiritually or religiously, there's always a purpose for all of us. Like, we're born into this world for a reason. So one thing that I struggled with was like, am I supposed to be a doctor? Am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to do that? Like, I don't have this special talent that I can provide to people, or I don't have these special skills that I can do. And so I really struggle with trying to figure out who am I? Who do I want to become? I don't know why when you graduate high school it just feels like I need to become this person, or I need to be this person, or I need to be doing something specifically. So you just trying to figure out life in your early 20, mid 20. It goes on, right? But what I realize is that there's not just one thing. That you don't have to be good at just one thing, or talented at one thing, or skilled in one thing, or super knowledgeable about a specific thing. It doesn't have to have a title to it. And so after I realized that, I started just multiple journeys. So I really could call myself a serial entrepreneur, because I didn't try at least 3 or 4 businesses, probably even more than that I've tried. And don't be like me and give up. Don't do that. But that's why I'm here to share with people who try to do something. The only thing that's going to get you there is consistency and continuing it, whether that's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. That is the reason that I never push through on and continue certain things that I did, in which I'm trying to do that with YouTube. So y'all stick with me. But one thing that I never did was, if I did it and I didn't see any results, then I'm like, I give up. It's not giving me what I want to see. I'm not able to do what I want to do. I'm not seeing overnight success, which is what it felt like. Sometimes it feels like, okay, I've been doing this a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. For example, I did photography for, I think it was about 5 years, and I had some really pretty decent results, but not enough for me and myself to feel like, yeah, let me keep going, right? So I feel like if you're thinking about giving up, you have to think about long term, where you want to be. When you start a business, or you're going to school, or you're in a company trying to climb whatever it is you're trying to do in life, you got to keep going, because that's the only way you're gonna see the results. If you give up or you stop pushing forward, you'll just think back when you're 40, 50, 60 and be like, dang, I wonder what would have happened if I ever continue doing that. And that is one thing that I say that I don't want to do when I get older. I don't want to look back and be like, dang, if only I had or shoulda or coulda. Now I can say for me, I have had times where I just lose interest, or life just becomes so busy or hectic, and I'm not gonna make any excuse about it. I just did not continue it. But I think for other people who are contemplating, should I give this up? But if it's something in you that makes you get up every day to continue doing that, or it makes you you can't keep your mind off of it, it's healthy, not toxic, but you can't keep your mind off of it, and you feel like you need to keep going, and you have this drive in you, and you're like, I wake up and I want to record a video. I wake up and I'm ready to get to the gym, because that is just what you do. But just because you're not seeing results overnight. So we could use working out, for example. Working out, we expect to work out for 2 or 3 weeks and then see some results on the scale, but that's not how it works. Most of these times, for example, Grow with Joe, I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's this lady that I like to do her workouts here and there. But whatever you choose, them results don't come for 3 or 4 or 5 months at a time, or you might feel it in your clothing, but the scale is saying otherwise. And it's if you don't consistently do it, or you only eat healthy for 4 or 5 days and working out, then you can't expect to be like, well, why don't I look like this and the weight didn't come? And that's what makes us give up. That's what makes us is not seeing results. But how we gonna see results if we ain't never finish it? You know what I'm saying? So like, we're in this season, I mean, I feel like we're in this era of expecting like the quick gratitude, and we're expecting quick things like overnight. Because why? Everything's at the tip of our fingers. Everything's so easily, like, we can get at the click of our finger, we can say, find me something to eat. At the click of our finger, we can say, send me to the nearest what's the nearest store, or using our maps, or using our phone to find a place to find and dine, or go on vacation. Like, that's why, because I feel like we are in this time of technology where everything's so easily given, right? And then there wasn't so many things to like compare yourself to without social media. I don't know that Susie went and got surgery, or Susie snapped back after her baby after 2 weeks. Why? Because I don't got a phone to figure that out. So back in the day, what you do, you just kept working out, you kept walking, you saw the results that you wanted to see. Or the people back in the day who had businesses, they wasn't out here like, oh man, John really doing it big in his business. Oh man, Mary really blew up and she didn't even have to do no work for real. They wasn't doing that. They was focusing on themselves. They was focusing on what they had to do to get to the point that they wanted to be at. And so I think we have to make sure we're focused. We're in our own zone. We not worried about if they made it to the top of the tree first, or we not worried about if they made it to the top of the ladder first. We're not worried if they hit their first 100K, because how we gonna hit our first 100K if we worried about them? It's not gonna happen. It's not. The grass, and like I always say, the grass not always greener on the other side. That don't mean that they didn't cry every night to get there. That don't mean that they didn't sacrifice time or money to get there. That don't mean that it was just so easy to get to that point. So realize that your journey is your journey, their journey is their journey, and it's gonna look completely different for a reason. And it's probably for you to share, hey, this wasn't easy. Some people come on YouTube and blow up in 2 days, and sometimes it takes 5 years, 10 years. Like, I had to realize that after I got over the hump of like, yeah, Jasmine, you know, or yeah, did you know that, you know, everything's not overnight? Like, when that finally clicked in my head, it was like, okay, so just keep doing what you're doing. That's it. That's all you can do. Of course, learn new ways to get better at things. Add skills to your resume. Get more knowledge on the thing that you are doing. Improve, for example, if you're YouTube, improve your editing. If you're working out, improve your form. You know, if you're trying to go to school, improve your study skills. So always be working to be better, but stay in your lane. We're not driving. We're staying in our lane. Because if we look to the left, now we're going to another lane, but that's not the lane we need to be in. Okay, so next, I do feel like this is all easier said than done, right? I think a lot of things contribute to us giving up and just saying like, you know what, whatever. That during those times, that's when you have to give yourself grace and practice compassion with yourself, and realize where you want to go, the reason and why. The main reasons that people give up is fear of failure. That's definitely something that I've gone through. Fear of judgment, comparing yourself to other people. But we don't need to do all of that. We just need to focus. And when we do, sometimes I feel like it's okay to take a break and come back. That's what I'll do. Like, if I'm like trying, you know, like in school, you kept trying to get this problem, but you just could not figure it out. You take a break, you come back the next day, and it clicks in your head. Don't burn yourself out. Take a break, take a breather, and realize it's okay to breathe, because you burn yourself out, then you really won't want to do it anymore. I also think what's important is celebrate the small wins, celebrate those small milestones. So make goals that you want to achieve, or you want to get to, and even if you don't get to it, say like, take something positive out of what you did achieve or your journey, and keep replaying that in your head. Just know that growth happens when things are difficult, not when they're easy, not when things are smooth sailing. Then if whatever you're doing was supposed to be easy, everybody will be doing it. So you gotta realize, like, and another thing is, I think this is also with not giving up, but even starting. Some people don't start stuff because it's like, well, they already got makeup channels, or they already have, you know, this business with shoes. They only have this and that, you know. And I talked about this before, but like, you think whoever made shoes first was the only person that could ever make shoes? You got Nike, you got Hoka, you got Puma, you got Reebok, you got Asics. All of these shoes, like, if nobody else made another shoe, we'd be walking around with the same shoe. So it's like, just because somebody's done it before doesn't mean that you won't do it differently, or the energy that you bring to it won't be better, or you found it how to be innovative about it, or you found what you can add to make it different. So you're unique no matter what you do, no matter what you create, no matter how you think is always completely different. So like, y'all ever be like, that don't even make no sense, why would they even do it that way, you know? But that's because people legit think differently. Yeah, we have similar mindsets, yeah, we have similar thoughts, but the way you created that painting is not the same way that somebody else is going to create that painting. So it's like, don't sleep on yourself, you know? Don't give up, keep pushing. And when you want to give up, take a break, stop, start over, do it again, refresh, hit the refresh button, start over, take a break, do it again, start, refresh, pause, do it again. That's what I'm saying. Keep replaying that in your head, because that's the only way that you're gonna keep going. That's the only way you're going to want to keep going. And remember your why, remember the end all goal, remember that stuff does not realistically happen overnight. Like I always say, look at all the actors and the actresses and the singers. Y'all, these people been doing this stuff since they was 5, 10, 11 years old. These people, Kerry Washington, Will Smith, these people ain't been acting for 5 years and then they blew up. No, when I look back, and I like, that's how you know I'm 30, because I be looking back into people's history. But like, when I look back and I'm like just researching who they are, where they came from, where they was born, you know, how they got into acting, these people have been starting for a long time. Imagine acting 20, 30 years, maybe not consistently in a movie every single year, or a show every single year, or even singers. Y'all know one of my favorite rappers still, even though people doing him dirty, is Drake. That man came from Degrassi. That man was like a whole teenager. He whole grown now, but guess how long he been making music? Since Degrassi. So just imagine if he gave up just because he was like, oh man, nobody coming to my rap shows. Or one of my husband's favorite rappers, Lil Russell, that man make a new album at least every other week, but he's still going. He don't give up. He gonna be so excited to hear this part, because he love him so much. Like, he loves his music so much, and I just be like, I don't get it. Like, it's all right, but he be yelling like Meek Mill to me. But anyway, that's a side note. But the point is, these people are not giving up after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But there's also time to realize, like, when something is not for you, if you don't have time to do it. Like, don't break yourself. Don't say, like, if you lose interest in something, like I said, I've lost interest in things, you don't have to continue it. Find something else. Just keep trying until you figure out what works for you in life. That's what I figured out. Like, we're so busy trying to figure out, like, am I supposed to be a nurse, or am I supposed to be a doctor? Am I supposed to be in physical therapy, or am I supposed to be an engineer? Am I supposed to be a construction worker? But maybe that's not why you're here. Maybe you're here for a completely different reason. But anyway, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure that you comment and subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.